जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनन्दन जगन्नरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन जगन्नरञ्जना नदीरा अनचारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना नदीरा वनचारी नदीरा वनचारी जय जय विष्णुपात्रं स परिव्राजगचर्य सदृशमदेशु भक्तिराम स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की ब्रह्मचर्य रसतु की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंदादा कुंगिरी गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथ पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगमय की यमुनामय की तुलसी महारानी की श्रील प्रभुपाद कृष्ण प्रज्ञान की श्री श्री राधारास बिहारी लता विशाखा की श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण की श्री श्री गौर निताई की श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत गुड़ी वैष्णवृंद की glorious devotees, all glorious devotees, all glorious devotees, all glorious devotees, all glorious Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Narayanam namaskrityam Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shruti Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, Text number 25. Six point 9.25. Ya eka isho nijamaya yanaha Sasarjayena sujama vishvam Vayam na yasyapi purasamihataha Pashyamalingam pratagishamaninaha Ya eka isho nijamaya yanaha Sasarjayena sujama vishvam Vayam na yasyapi puraha samihataha Pashyamalingam pratagishamaninaha Ya eka isho nijamaya yanaha Sasarjayena sujama vishvam Vayam na yasyapi purah samihataha Pashyamalingam pratagishamaninaha बोलिए
या एक ईशो निजमाया याना ससर्जयेन अनुसृजमा विश्वम् वायं न यस्यपि पुरा समीहता पश्यामलिङ्गं पृथक्
या एक ईशो निजमाया यानः ससर्जयेनानुसृजाम विश्वम् वयं न यस्यापि पुरा समीहतः पश्यामलिङ्गं पृथगीशमानिनः
यः he who एकः one ईशः controller निजमायया by his
transcendental potency
naha us sarja created yena by By whom? To whose mercy? Anusujama. We also create. Vishwam, the universe. Vayam, we. Na, not. Yasya, of whom. Api, although. Puraha, in front of us. Samihataha, of him who is acting. Pashyama, see. Lingam, the form. Prutak, separate. Isha, as controllers. Maninaha, thinking of ourselves. Purport, translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who created us by His external potency and by whose mercy we expand the creation of the universe, is always situated before us as the Super Soul, but we cannot see His form. We are unable to see Him because all of us think that we are separate, independent gods. Support. Here is an example of why the conditioned soul cannot see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Even though the Lord appears before us as Lord Krishna or Lord Ramchandra and lives in human society as a leader or a king, the conditioned soul cannot understand him. Avajananti Mamuda, Manushim Tanamashu. Rascals deride the Supreme Personality of God, thinking him an ordinary human being. However insignificant we are, we think that we are also God, that we can create a universe or that we can create another God. This is why we cannot see or understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya says, Lingam eva pashyamaha kadachit abhimanastu devanam apisan iva praya kaleshu nasti eva taratamyena sopiyatu. We are all conditioned to various degrees, but we think that we are God. This is why we cannot understand who God is or see Him face to face. Om Ajnanamurasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapakam Yena Bhutale Sarvabhutataramanyam Dadati Swamadakivam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lita Shri Shakanikamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhaktakancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalparubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaurabhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I think you should keep the door open. Got closed. Hare Krishna. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Say that. Acha, initially we will discuss my main focus will be on the prayers by Vritrasana. Before that, I will describe first why we have to be busy. In our life, we should always remember respecting a spiritual master. It is said that when you dishonor a person of highest caliber, Acharya, Guru, Ayu becomes reduced, lifespan becomes reduced, Shriya, beauty will go, then Aishwarya will go. There will be a lot of loss. So, once Indra defeated demons, and then everybody was glorifying him. So at that time, Brihaspati came, his spiritual master, Devguru. He did not honor him properly because he was so intoxicated by success and the glorification that he is getting. So he did not honor his spiritual master properly. So Brihaspati did not say anything. And then he just walked away and then he disappeared. Then Prabhupada said, previously civilized people, Arya, means he should have a spiritual master. Otherwise, he is a anatha. Somebody who doesn't have a spiritual master, he is a anatha, orphan. So Indra and other demigods observed that Brihaspati disappeared, and then they were wondering. Then Indra is realized that I have committed an offense, like that. But Brihaspati was not there to go and beg forgiveness and all. He just disappeared. Then, in order to perform sacrifices and all, you need a spiritual master. Then, there is one great sage. His name is Vastamuni. Vastamuni had a son, Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa had 3 heads. 3 heads. Vastamuni's wife is from family of Asuras. आप लोग मोबाइल क्या चेक कर रहे हैं?
Notes.
Anyway. So it is they requested. He is very young in age. So Indra requested that Vishwarupa should become their spiritual master. Vishwarupa said, "You are all great personalities, superior persons, and you are in age also you are superior to me. I am a very young boy. Why do you want to accept me as your spiritual master?" Then he said, "No. There are 2 kinds of people, vriddhas. One is a old man by age, another by jnana-vriddha, by knowledge. Like Sukadeva Goswami is a jnana-vriddha. That is why his own father then all spiritual masters, Nagmuni and all, they were sitting and hearing Krishna Katha from him. Sukadeva Swami. But even though he's only 16-year-old boy, right? He's Jnanavritta. And then some people are Vayovritta. Lord Ramchandra, he said, he used to respect three kinds of people. One is Vayovritta, another is Jnanavritta. There are, it is said that if somebody had seen great grandson or something like that, like great grandson, that means he's a very, he will go to, he will go to Sarga. If somebody has seen great grandson, son of grandson.
My father.
They have seen great grandson?
Yeah, Sanjana's son is.
Huh?
Sanjana's son is great grandson.
Yeah.
Even my father is. Father, mother, both are.
Yeah. So it's considered a very big thing, great grandson. Like that. Anyway, Indra said, no, you are highly. There is something called Narayana Kavacha. Narayana Kavacha. We have Narshinga Kavacha, like the Narayana Kavacha. The mantras are there. So he is expert in chanting Narayana Kavacha. Like that. So they appointed him as his spiritual master. So Vishwarupa used, with one head, he used to drink somarasa. With another head, he used to drink wine, surapan. Then third head, he used to eat. Very nice facility. Yes. Like that. So, in the Swargaloka they do surapan, but it's not that wine that these people they drink. But that kind of. Then this family relations, affection is very, deep. There is a deep attachment. All that. The girls, they like both. The girls actually they like their Maike and all that. Right?
मायका वाला भी आ जाता है घर पे मुस्कान आ जाता
क्या बोलते हैं?
है मायका वाला घर पे भी आता है ना मुस्कान आता है
And then the girls they don't like their sasural. One lady, one wife was telling her husband, मैं 4-5 दिन के लिए मैं मायके जाके आ जाती हूँ. फिर हस्बैंड बोलते हैं क्या जरूरत है, मैं आपको ड्रॉप कर दूंगा, 4-5 घंटा रहो, मैं आ जाऊँ, मैं आपको पिकअप कर लेगा. Go for 1 week like that, how will the house time? तुम्हारी फैमिली इतना बड़ी है, उसको 2-3 घंटे में बुराई करना हो जाएगा. ऐसा. This fellow, Shuru, he had a special affection for demons also. Right? Most of the Muslims, they have a great love for Pakistan. Indian Muslims को माजा है क्या?
Mujab.
नहीं, they have a word, very bad slang word, mujahid. They say Indian Muslims, they call them Pakistanis, mujahids. They don't respect. But these Indian Muslims, they have so much respect for, they have so much love for Pakistan. That is why none of these Muslim, well-known Muslim people, they condemn, Pahalgam attack praised Sindhu, what is it? Operation
Solution.
Operation. They like that. They have this, like that Vishnurupa also. He had even though demons are enemies of demigods, and he is the spiritual master of demigods, he had a special affection for demons. So what he was doing, he had 3 heads, right? So with one head, he was saying, Indraya Swaha, Namama, Indraya Swaha, Namama. Like that he was saying. So everybody was while performing yajnas. Then with the other head, he's saying, Asuraya Swaha, Asuraya Swaha, Asuraya Swaha. So one portion, he was offering to demons, Asuras. From everybody, top to bottom, or bottom to top, in this world, everybody is enemies. That is the swabhava of conditioned living entities. अरे प्रभु बहुत envious है वो, और हम भी envious ही है. Right? The very fact that I am living in this material world, that means I am an envious person. So what is the second verse of Bhagavatam? What is the second verse of Bhagavatam? Dharma projahita kaitavatra paramo nirmat sharanam sadam. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatra yungodu Shrimad Bhagavatam Mahamani Krute Kimva Prayavishana Sadhyo Hridi Avarudyate Shushruvish Takshana Paramo Nirmat Sharanam Sata. Who can understand Bhagavatam? Those who are free from enemies. Nirmat Sharanam. Matsara. Matsara means envy. There are, Prabhupada gave this explanation. Jealousy and envy. So envy means I have, but the Pados should not have. You know? And you have, why are you bothered? No. Envy means I have, but Pados should not have. Jealousy means, Prabhupada said, you describe good qualities as bad qualities. You don't give credit to their greatness. आपको पता चला हमारा बबलू जज बन गया? ऐसा कैसा जज कैसा बन सकता है? आप गलत देखा होगा. नहीं मैंने आंखों से देखा है वो जज में. तो उन्होंने बोला वो कुछ रिश्वत दे के बन गया होगा. ऐसा देर मटर. So Indra, is such a great personality. He has performed Katha Kratus, 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. He could not tolerate, because they are envious of demigods, demons. Both they envy each other, Apare Vasudevasya Devakya Yachito Abhega Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya Vadhayacha Suradvisha. Demons are Suradvisha. They are envious of. And then demigods are Asuradvisha. They don't like envy like that. That is why Narad Muni and Lord Vishnu, both, they glorified Prahlad Maharaj. Narad Muni glorified Yat Sadhu Gada Sadasi Ripava Suraripa Rupa Pratimanam Prakurvanti. In that verse, Narad Muni is saying that wherever there is satsang, even in the satsang of demigods who are enemies of demons, the sabha is not complete without glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. That is his greatness, Prahlad Maharaj. And they compare. Pratimanam Prakurvati means comparison. Is a ideal example. Prahlad, devotee means Prahlad Maharaj. Who are saying? Demigods. Demigods are saying Pratimanam Prakurvati. They compare. Even though Ripo Suradipurupa. Ripo means enemy. Suradipurupa. The Suronka enemy, demons, Prahlad Maharaj, but they glorify. Then Lord Nishingadev, he tells Prahlad Maharaj, Bhogesh Punyam, Bhogesh Punyam, Kushalena Papa, Kalevaram Kala Javena Hitva, Kirti Vishuddham, Suraloka Geetam. Hey, Prahlad, your Kirti will be sung by in the Swargaloka also, Suraloka Geetam. That is, so there are some people who attract even envious people, like Prahlad Maharaj. Anyway, we should, that is why Lord Nishingadev said, you are the best of all devotees. Bhaktottama. Outside, the Acharyas, they say, outside Vrindavan, Prahlad Maharaj is the best devotee compared to gopis. In Vrindavan, gopis are the best. But outside Vrindavan, Prahlad Maharaj is the best of the devotees. Anyway, that's why I keep saying, Prabhupada said, you think about Dhruv Maharaj, you think about Prahlad Maharaj, and you think about Ambarish Maharaj on a regular basis. One day you will become a devotee like Ambarish Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj. You know? Anyway, so Indra became very angry and cut up the heads of three heads of Vishnurupa out of great anger. His own spiritual master, Guru Drohi. He became Guru Drohi. So then, so one of the head became drinking, that head drinking Somarasa was transformed into Kapinjala, Francolin Partridge, there is one word. Similarly, the head meant for drinking wine was transformed into Kalavinka, sparrow. And the head meant for eating food became a Tittiri, common partridge. So like that, he became. Then, who is Vishnurupa? He is a Brahmana. So, Indra inherited Brahmahatya Papa. Brahmahatya Papa. Tejiyam sana dosham. Tejiyasya na dosham. They, great people, they don't become so much affected by ordinary simple activities that like we become affected. But in this case, because he killed a Brahmana, Brahmahatya Papa, he had to suffer from sinful actions. But Indra, because he was very, very powerful man, he divided these sinful activities into 4 parts. One part he gave it to Mother Earth. Right? Mother Earth. That is why the desert areas they form as a effect of sinful reactions that she received. As a benediction, when you dig a earth, it becomes filled up. It becomes filled up, right? One part he gave it to. Another one part he gave it to trees. Trees. So the trees, that is why you cut the branches and they grow up again. As a part of receiving simple reaction, the trees produce sap. That is why you should not touch it. You should not touch it. Another part, he gave it to water. Right? Water. That is why you add water to the milk, the volume increases. of the milk, volume increases like that. But as a result to sinful reactions, the water, there are bubbles in water. That's right, Prabhupada writes. While collecting water for deity worship, you should make sure that there are no bubbles in the water. Bubbles are there, that means simple reactions are produced. So you should not touch the sap of the tree. Then Prabhupada wrote that persons destined to live in deserts are understood to be sharing the reactions for the sin of Brahmahatya, the killing of a Brahmana, Sahara desert, Thar desert. Somebody is born. That means in his last life, Brahmahatya Papa. Huh? Yeah. Then the last part he gave to women. Right? So that is why they get monthly thing. That is why it is said that during those monthly thing, you should not touch the ladies because it is considered sinful. So Krishna Chaitanya writes, Patram Pushpam Padam Dvayam Yuna Bhakta etc. He wrote that women on the periods and men who are in a contaminated state, if they cook food and offer, Krishna will not accept. Krishna will not accept. As a result, they can enjoy a lot when compared to men. There is a story once one king became a woman because he entered some forest, which is Lord Shiva's thing. Parvati, he gave a benediction to Parvati. Then Vasishtha Muni came to know, then he offered praise to Indra. So this king, he produced children as a king, as a male king. Some children were there. Then he became a woman. Then he is married to some king. Then he produced children as a woman also. As a woman also. Like this, then 6 months woman, 6 months man. He used to be like that. Then Vasishtha Muni prayed to Indra. Then Indra said, okay. Benediction. Whom you want to become? You choose. You want to remain as a man? You want to remain as a woman? Then that king chosen, I will remain as a woman. Then Indra was surprised. Why? Then I can enjoy better. I was shocked when I read this. This comes in Mahabharata. Like that. So then he became free from sinful reactions, and then again he becomes the king. Then meanwhile Brahaspati also came. So meanwhile what happened? Vasishtha Muni, he became very angry. Vishrupa's father. He became very angry. Then he performed a very great sacrifice. Okay? There are Nairuti Abhicharya Yajet. There are Abhicharik mantras. In Vedas, Abhicharik mantras are there. Abhicharik mantras means if you chant those mantras, you chant those mantras, which if you have any enemies, you chant that mantra thinking that enemy should be killed. That is called Abhicharik mantras. Right? So they are actually what is that? Rajya Kama Manur Yajet, Nairuti Abhicharan Yajet, Kamya Kama Yajet Shoma, Akama Purushatmana. This is a verse from second kind of Bhagavad, third chapter. If you have Rajya Kama, you must worship Manus. Okay? if you want to kill demon, if you want to kill your enemies, you must worship demons. Vicharika. And if you want to enjoy sense gratification, you must worship Chandra. Okay? And then if you want Akama, if you don't want any material desires, you must worship Pushatma. Akama Sarvakama Mokshakamudari Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param Etavani eva Yajata Iha Nihishresha Budaya Bhagavati Achala Buddhi Yet Sadhu Samagata. He says that all these worshippers, if they want real their benefit, their Shreya, they must aim for Achala Bhakti to the lotus feet, unflinching devotion service. That is possible only in the association of devotees. Right? Anyway, so this Vastamuni, he was performing yajna to kill Indra. Right? Indra. These aksharas, a, I, e, u, they all represented their demigods are a particular a, e, u. If you chant, they are adhinetas, certain demigods are there, like that. Rakara, Agni Bijaka. Right? Once Tyagaraja Swami, he went to one Jamindar's house for music actually. He, in his life, he never took a single paisa for Kucheri. He was only Nada Brahma, means he used music to attain liberation. He never performed rich people and he never took any money. One Jamindar, he gave some gold coins to his assistant. अरे रुको ना, आप भगवान रामचंद्र, he is a devotee of Ramchandra. भगवान रामचंद्र को वर्शिप करने के लिए काम आए. They were carrying him. Then they were on the bank of the Kaveri river. चलो फुल हो गया ना, घर फुल हो. इधर आ जाओ. नोटिस डाल देना.
First come, first serve.
Huh? Yeah, you can sit here. So Tyagaraja Swami, some thieves came to know that their assistant is having gold coins. They started throwing stones at their palki. Tyagaraja Swami, his greatness is usually music directors. There are two types. Once in the beginning, once they compose a poem, a song, and then they make music. They make music. Some other people, they first compose music, then after that they write song, lyric. But the greatness of Tyagaraja Swami, he used to simply sing while composing the music. And then his assistants used to write lyrics. According to notes. Anyway, so he thought, he asked his assistants, you kept some money with you? Yeah, Guru Maharaj, उन्होंने दिया था. See, they want to loot us. Then he started it. So Rakara is Agni Bijakam. Then he composed a very beautiful bhajan. Rara, Rara, Raghuvira, like that. He did not use Ma, because Ma is Chandra Bijikam and mother. If Sitaji comes, Ramchandra cannot kill, punish those culprits. Without using Ma, entire bhajan is sang, composing Ra, 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 Ra. Ra, Ra means Telugu, come, come, come. Raghuvira, like that is composed. Then after some time, they stopped throwing stones. Then when they reached in the morning, the Kaveri River, Tyagaraja Swami was taking bath. Two guys they came. They offered obeisances to Tyagaraja Swami. Guruji, yesterday we are the ones. We were trying to steal your gold coins. And then you sang some song. Right? You sang some song. We saw two beautiful persons carrying Darshman. Please sing again, we want to see. That is the power of Aksharas, These Aksharas are very powerful. There is a Satya Ghatna. In Andhra, one person, he was some Jamindar or somebody, he was cheating on Brahmana. Right? So he wrote a letter using Ra, 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 Rakaram Agni Bijikam. And then that fellow, when that Jamindar received that letter, it produced fire and then he got burnt. It was so powerful, these aksharas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. These aksharas can manifest Radha and Krishna in our hearts. They are not ordinary syllables. Anyway, so in Sanskrit, that is why pronunciation is very important. Pronunciation is very important. Of course, Prabhupada said, foreigners and all, they chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Bhavagrahi Janardana, Krishna, but in Vedic mantras, very careful. Then what happened? While performing yajna, Indra, this Pastamuni, by the will of providence, they are not the like us, we cannot chant even a Bhagavad Gita shlokas properly. Okay? Pastamuni, he chanted mantra very wrong. Right? Instead of, Prabhupada said, instead of chanting Indra Shatru, right? Enemy of Indra, he wanted to produce enemy of Indra, Indra Shatru. So by the will of providence, by Saraswati's influence, he chanted Indra Shatru. अभी opposite हो गया meaning. क्या meaning अभी क्या है? I want a son whose enemy is Indra. Indra. Then from that fire sacrifice, a huge demon was born. Huge. Covering the sky. Vritrasura means covering the sky. He was covering. Nowadays the demons are very फालतू, इतना ऐसे ही मर जाएंगे. But that time demons are very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Like, Divisparsha, like when Hiranyakashipu saw Lord Vishnu's form, Divisparshat Kayam Adirga Pravaru. Divisparsha means it is Lord Vishnu is touching the sky. We are actually worshipping small Nrsimhadev. Right? Small Nrsimhadev. But what Hiranyakashipu saw, Divisparshat Kayam, his body is touching the sky. Huge body. Right? His ears, Girikandara Adbhutam, his ears are like caves of a mountain. Karala Damstram, Karavala Chanchalam. You can learn that verse. Vriyamanasya Samata Samvritta Agrata Mimamsamanasya Samavritta Agrata. He saw Hiranyakashipu Mimamsamanasya. What is this form? Like Nishimha Rupam, Yan Ati Bhayanakaha. Yad Rupam, Nishimha Rupam, Ati Bhayanakaha. It's very, very fearful. Very, very fearful. Pratapta Chamikara Chandalochanam. His eyes are like burning cinders. Like that. And then Spurat Shatakeshara Jrumbitananam, his hairs, where like a whitish in color. Then Karala Damstram, Karavala Kankaram, Chanchalam. Anyway, it's not our topic. So this Rudrasura was such a huge demon. Right? Then when the demigods were throwing arms, this demon Rudrasura, he was actually catching hold of the astras and shastras and eating them. When Indra and all, they were releasing weapons, he was thinking just like when you throw a lotus flower on an elephant. How does he feel? Like that. He is feeling, all these astras, shastras. He was thinking as if some lotus flower throwing. So, what did they do? What did they do? They went to. They are so helpless. They are so helpless. They did not know what to do. Rudrasura, he is going to kill them, all of that. And then he was beating them so badly that they were regretting. Many times demigods, they regret that why we drank Amrita. You know why? हमको कोई मार देगा, वो मर जाएंगे, right? देवता लोग मरते नहीं, अमृत पिया है, फिर गाँव तो लगता है, दर्द होता है, पीड़ा होता है, अरे बोलते कि हमको भगवान हमको अमृत क्यों पिलाया? So Aghasura demon, even like Prabhupada explains, even though demigods they drank Amrita, they are afraid of Aghasura. He was such a ferocious demon that when Krishna was about to fight with Aghasura, they were not willing to come in the open and watch and then glorify Krishna. Because they were hiding behind the clouds. Because in case if Krishna becomes defeated, Aghasura comes to know that we are throwing flowers, glorifying. Then हमको और मार पड़ेगा. इसलिए they were very afraid. इसलिए Prabhupada said, never aspire to become a demigod. Never. नाहं ब्रह्मापि भूयसाम् तावद्वयं भक्ति रिक्तयो हरे Tvayi bhakti kito api bhuyasam. Janma Janmashu. One devotee was praying, my dear Lord, I don't want to become a Brahma. Yeah, if that Brahma is Bhakti Rikta, Hari Bhakti is not Hari Bhakti. But I want to be a Kida if I can be a devotee. I prefer to be insect in the house of a devotee than become a Brahma. This is Chaitanya. You will not find. Why you have to look for a verse? Listen, Prabhupada said, Prabhupada did not like devotees making notes. He said, here, whenever I quote a verse, you will, why you will find a verse? Here. Later on you remember, you will not find this verse. I will not tell where it is. Anyway, so in this age of Kali, Prabhupada quoted that Kalo Bhagavata Nama, Durlabam Naiva Labhyate, Ramarupa Patot Krishna, Guruna Katitam Mama. He says that in this age of Kali, to become known as a Bhagavata is very, very rare. Durlabam Naiva Labhyate. In Kali Yuga, very difficult to get a Bhagavata. Even Brahma and Rudra, they aspire to that position. Like that. So in that context, one devotee quoted, he said this verse, Naham Brahma api bhuyasam. So I don't want to become a Brahma. I don't want to become, anyway. So it is mentioned that so the demigods, they went to Krishna, the Supreme Personality. Many times I told this. Tatra Ugradanda Samvigna. Tatra Ugradanda Samvigna. Sarve Loka Sapalakai. Alabda Anya Sharana. Alabda Anya Sharana. Sharanam Yuyam Achutam. Very beautiful verse. 7th chapter, 4th chapter. He said, because of severe punishment by Hiranyakashipu, all the demigods, they did not know, they left their heavenly palaces and they were roaming here and there. They didn't have any place to stay. And then they all, Alabda Anya Sharanam, they went to Lord Shiva, they went to Brahma, they said, we cannot help you. Nobody could help them because they took care to do enough tapasya. Then Alabda Anya Sharanam, because of not getting any other sharanam, any other shelter, Sharanam Yuyam Achyutam. They went to Achyutam. When I read this verse, I liked it so much. It was so much, very nice. Then they prayed, Tasei Namostu Kastaya, Yatra Atma Haririshvaraha, Yadgatva Nivartante, Shanta Sanyasina Amala, Itite Samahita. Itite samyam atmanah samahita dhya manomale upatastur rishikesha vinitra vayubhakshana. Demigods, they, tasya namostu kastai. We are offering obeisances to that Supreme Personality, to the direction where Supreme Personality stays. Yatratma Haririshvara. And sadhus, when they go there, they will never come back again. Then Vinitra Vayu Bhakshana. They give up sleep and then they were eating only Vayu. Then they offered prayers to Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna, that time he did not come. In this regard, in this episode, Lord Vishnu appears. Anyway, so they were offering prayers like that. So they were saying, anyway, we don't want to, I don't want to go into the prayers. But they were saying, what you should say when you come in front of the Lord? First thing you should say. Mataji will tell. Huh? 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 What you should say? Huh? Very nice. But that is in front of the deity. But otherwise, when you offer praise to the Lord, the first thing you should say, right? You are Divya Bhakti is correct. You are Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then next is
Eternal servant of Krishna.
no. After that, next you are beyond three modes of material nature. Then you are a Purusha. You are a Purusha. Then Divya Mangalamurti. That your form of yours is transcendental. Then you are full of transcendental qualities. Like that you must tell. So why we should offer praise to Krishna? Bolo Rajesh. Nah. Prabhupada, what Shiveshnacharya commented, you go and tell the Lord that what tattva I know about you, my dear Lord. So you should go and tell the Lord that this tattva I know about you. This is tattva. Tattva is very important, right? Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasa. I don't know any Bengali words. Say Krishna Tattva Veda, say Guru. What is the Krishna Tattva? Right? This is Krishna Tattva. Right? What is that? Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam Karomi Narayana Pada Sevanam Sada Vadami Narayana Nama Nirmalam Smarami Narayana Tattva Mangalam. Boliye Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam
Namami Narayana Pada Pankajam
Karomi Narayana Pada Sevanam Sada
Karomi Narayana Pada Sevanam Sada
Vadami Narayana Nama Nirmalam
Vadami Narayana Nama Nirmalam
Smarami Narayana Tattvamayam.
Smarami Narayana Tattvamayam.
So they have started this. My dear Lord, you are the creator of this world. And then everybody is afraid of time factor. Everybody is afraid of time factor. But time factor is afraid of you. Where it said, first chapter, Apanna Sanskriti Goram, Yannama, Yuvashogunam, Tata Satya Vimucheta, Yad Viveti, Swayam Vayam. You know this verse? Bola? Yannama Shruti Matrena.
Yannama Shruti Matrena.
No, Apanna Sanskriti Goram.
Apanna Sanskriti Goram.
Yannama Yuvashogunam.
Yannama Yuvashogunam.
Tata Satya Vimucheta.
Satya Vimucheta.
Yad Viveti Swayam Vayam.
Yad Viveti Swayam Vayam.
Who is afraid? The one who has not taken shelter of Krishna. He is afraid in this world. Otherwise, time factor is
Afraid of Krishna.
She is afraid of Krishna. Everybody is afraid of time factor. Right? Then he say, my dear Lord, we want to worship you. Let us worship that Supreme Lord. He is the only one who can give us protection. So Prabhupada writes that sometimes demigods, even though they are mentalistically inclined, when they are in trouble, they become pure devotees. So they are offering wonderful prayers. Hopefully, I'm making notes, Vishnu Sahasranam Sutra, and this Sunday I want to speak something. one of the verses spoken by Bhishmadev, he describes Lord Krishna as Anandi. Anandi means one who is always happy. One who is always happy. And then, if you want and if you go to him, he will give you Ananda. Right? Unfortunately, we approach materialistic people, hoping to get some happiness. They themselves don't have any happiness. How can they give you? Right? They themselves don't have any happiness. How can they give you? But the Lord is full of Ananda. That's why he is known as Vishwadev described. In Vishnu Sahasranama, he described him as Anandi. Anandi. And so they are saying that, my dear Lord, you are naturally happy. Like even Maharaj Chitraketu, when he was offering prayers to Lord Shankarshana, he offered prayers. Right? Om Namastubhyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya Namah Shankarshanaaya Cha Namo Vijnana Matraya Paramananda Murte Atmaramaya Shantaya Nivutta Vaidadrushtaye Svatmananda Bhutyaiva Nasta Shakti Urmaye Namaha Rishikeshaya Mahate Namo Anantamurtaye. He's offering prayers. So there too, Paramananda Murtaye. He's always happy. He's personified Atmarama Shanta. Then Svatmananda Bhutyaiva Nasta Shakti Urmaye Namaha. He's not affected by material tribulations. He's always happy. My dear Lord, you are very happy. Like, Yevam Yukta Rishikesha Gudakesha Parantapa Nayotsya Iti Govinda Uktva Tushni Babuvaha. There, Vishnu Sahasranama says, you know this verse? Second chapter, 10th verse, 9th verse. Yevam Uktva Rishikesha Gudakesha Parantapa Nayotsya Iti Govinda Uktva Tushni Babuvaha. Nayotsya Iti Govinda. Oh Govinda, I will not fight. Then he gave up his Dhanushman and then he sat down. He gave up and then he sat down. So there Vishnu Chakra says, you are Govinda, means one who gives happiness to senses, the cows and this thing. Please give me happiness to me also. That is the meaning of addressing him as Govinda. Because without fighting, please give me happiness. Why are you asking me to fight with Bhishma Drona? You are Govinda, you are full of happiness, so you give me happiness. Like, so, anyway, then they have described different incarnations. In the beginning, you came as tortoise. In the beginning, after that, you came as fish incarnation. You came as Kurma avatar. You came as Varaha avatar. All these avataras are meant for giving protection to his devotees. That is why in the beginning we should remember and narrate. We should hear, narrate, remember and then narrate these avatar Katha. Okay? Avatar Katha. We should remember. So what will happen? That is why you change the value. That is why I think is that Kapila says Bhaktya Puman Jat Viraga Indra Drishtva Sutva Mad Rachanana Chintayet Chittasya Yatto Grohanena Yoga Yukto Yatishyate Rujuvir Yoga Marge. Lord Kapila says, in the beginning, Drishtva Sutva Mad Rachanana Chintayet. You must hear and meditate on the pastime of creation. Three Purushas. Drishtva Sutva Mad. Then you must remember how I created this world. That is why this avatar Srishti Leela in all Puranas Vyasadeva described. All Puranas. All Puranas you will get. They will say, "Arey, repetition hai." Repetition hai. Somebody reads Kurma Purana. He may not read Bhagavatam. So if they read Kurma Purana, they will find Srishti Leela. So Drishtva Sattva, by studying this Srishti Leela, hearing Srishti Leela and thinking about Srishti Leela, what will happen? You will become renounced. Drishtva Sattva, Bhaktya Kumar Jata Viraga Aindra. You will become free from desire for sense enjoyment. Drishtva Sattva Mantra chant. Then Chittasya Yatto Brahmanena Yoga Yatto. Then it will be easy for you to control the mind. And then Yatishyate Rujugir Yoga Marga. And this is a very easy yoga process. Right? Baito AC room में और भागवतम बोलो और first canto, second canto पढ़ो सृष्टि लीला. Then what will happen?
You will become renounced.
You will become free from desire for
Sense gratification.
sense enjoyment. That is yesterday class I was doing. My dear Lord, you created your potency, and then by your mercy we create. But we cannot see you even though you are present in our heart. Because we all think that I am God. We all think that
I am God.
Prutagishamanina. Pruta means, you know what? Separate mentality. Separatist mentality. Prutagishamanina means I am serving Krishna and Krishna should fulfill my desires. This is Prutak Bhava. I am doing so much donation. I am doing this, I am doing that. In return, I should get something. That is called Prutagisha Manina. Lord Shiva told why. Then one more reason why we cannot see Krishna even though he is in our heart. What is that? Maharaj. No. Demigod's prayer from 12th canto chapter. They are saying, Yasyanu asaddeha gehe aham mama iti uda duragrahana umsam suduram purusham purnam. So they are demigods are saying there also, my dear Lord, umsam suduram purusham. Even though you are sitting in our heart, you are far away from us because we are all affected by aham and mama. I and myself. I or Mera. So when you become free from this aham mama, you can see Krishna in your heart. So powerful. Such a burden. Such a greatest obstacle for achieving Krishna Prema is Anari. Greatest obstacle for achieving Krishna consciousness is aham and aham mama. This Maharaj Chitraketu's prayers are very wonderful. I remember many of the prayers. Vishama Matir na yatra nuna Tvam aham mama taveti cha nanyatra Vishaya diyas rachito yaha tad vayam shaishnu avishithayor adharma bahula. Very beautiful verse. This is Vishama Matir na yatra nunam. These people, mentalistic people, they are always saying you and I, and yours and mine. Always affected. But Prabhupada, he did not do word-to-word translation in he translated that. In Bhagavata Dharma, They are not affected because they think, instead of thinking I, they think I am Krishna's. Right? And then whatever is mine belongs to
Krishna.
that is Bhagavata. That Pruthakesha Manina Gaya. Right? Lord Shiva is saying to Parvati Devi, when Chitraketu Maharaj was cursed by Parvati Devi, he was saying, Lord Shiva was saying, Naham Virinchi, na Kumaro, na Naradav, na Brahma Kumaro, na Munayo, na Suryaha, Vidami Yasyahi Atma Amshake, Atmatma Amshakena, Natat Swarupam Prutagesha Manina. So Lord Shiva is saying that my dear Parvati Devi, myself, Naham, Virinchi, Brahmaji, Na Kumaro, this Ashwini Kumaras, Na Kumaro, then Na Narada, Narada Muni, Na Brahma Kumaro, 4 Kumaras, right? All these Munis, then all these demigods, they cannot, even though they are parts and parcels of Krishna, they cannot know the wonderful pastimes of Krishna because everybody is thinking Krutagesha Manina. Huh? Krutagesha Manina. All of us, we think that. Huh? Are you saying Dayan Shetty? Dayan?
Yeah.
Are you seeing Krishna? Because you cannot see Krishna right now, even though he is sitting in our heart. Because I am thinking, I am God. Right? You will think, I made this factory, I made this company. बहुत लोग अग्रवाल लोग बोलते रहते हैं तो आते प्रभुजी मैं 100 रुपए लेके आया मुंबई अभी इतना बड़ा कंपनी मैंने बना के खड़ा किया ऐसा there are very many rags to rich stories in Mumbai, right? They are very proud. मैंने बनाया. Right? Always please say, if you, whose house is this? If you had said, if somebody says, this is my house, so much punya karma gets deducted. If you say this is my house, if you say that, ये मेरा घर है, then so much punya karma. This is my car, so much punya karma. This is my wife, so much punya karma gets deducted. कोई कुछ भी नहीं है आपका, काली हाथ आते हैं और काली हाथ जाएंगे. लेकिन in between we acquire so many things and we claim that this is mine, that is mine. ये मेरा है. So anyway, then oh my dear Lord, please come and protect us. Because you have incarnated so many times to protect the devotees, right? Protect the devotees. That is why our demigods, Garbhastuti, they say Sattvam Vishuddham Shrayate Bhavan Sthitam Sharirinam Shray Upayanam Vapuhu Veda Kriyayam Yoga Tapasamadhi Tavarahanam Yena Jana Samipasi. They say, my dear Lord, you appear in so many incarnations. They are all worshipable because your body is transcendental in all conditions. So, please come and help us. We don't know what to do with this demon. Anyway, then the Lord appeared with his 60 assistants. Still, Solar Shaktiyan, all of them. Very affluent Lord. The Lord appeared in front of them. Then they were all amazed. So, Prabhupada says, temporarily, out of great distress, they completely surrendered to Krishna. They completely surrendered to Krishna. For a few minutes, they became pure devotees. They became pure devotees. Right. So, again they started offering prayers. If I tell again all these things, there will be no time. Then the Lord, Prabhupada writes, Lord has expressed regret. I am satisfied with you. Okay, I will protect all of you. But you, instead of asking for killing of Dhritarashtra, if you had asked me, please take us back to Vaikuntha, I would have been very happy. Huh? Right? So this is our great fortune, great good fortune. Prabhupada is teaching us, from the small books to big books, only one thing. Right? Don't ask for material desires. बोलते हैं आपका भाषा में मुंबई का लोचा है, right? If you ask for material desires, it is a big loss. Prabhupada says, you go to Prime Minister and the Prime Minister asks, sir, whatever you want you can take. Then you ask for 101 rupees donation. Right? You should have 1,000 crores so that TOVP can be finished. Right? 101 rupees. Like that, asking from the Lord material desires is like going to the king and he said, take whatever you want. Then, Ramarupa tells one story. One king, he declared, on my birthday, whatever you want, you can take. And they all came and taking so many things, gold, jewelry, this and that. One lady, she came, बोली मेरे को राजमाता बना दो. And then he told one more story. Once one king went to Kanchipuram. Then he had 3 wives. He sent a message from Kanchipuram. So Kanchipuram is very famous for jewelry and sarees. Then whatever you want you can ask. The first wife, she asked, please bring some sarees. Okay. And then the second wife asked, please bring some jewelry. Third wife, she took a paper, and then she spread the entire paper with red ink. Right? Red ink. Then in the middle, she wrote Sa. Follow, Rajesh? Then the king understood. So when he came back, with his assistants, he sent sarees to his first wife. Second wife, he sent jewelry. Third wife, he himself went. Because she sent a message, Lal Sa. Lal rang se? Lal. Or? Sa. Lal Sa. Means I want you. And I want you. Like that, so the Lord expressed regret. But Lord is very, very kind. Even if you go to the Lord with your desires, He fulfills. At the same time, He finishes our material life. बोलो कौन सा श्लोक है? सत्याशिषो हि भगवान तव पाद पद्म आशीष तदान भजतो पुरुषार्थ मूर्ते अप्येव आर्य भगवान परिपाटि दीनम वात्सैव वत्सक अनुग्रह कातरस्मि. My dear Lord, सत्याशिषो हि भगवान तव पाद पद्म. He says, those who take shelter of your lotus feet, you give them perfection, But for somebody like me, who's hankering for material desires, just like cow takes care of the cow, you take care of people like me also. Vasnaita Vasaga Anugraha Apras. Okay? So that's a beautiful verse. विषयतृषः नरपशवः विषयतृष नरपशवः यद् उपासते तद् विभूतिनां न परं त्वं तेषाम् आशीष ईशा यद् अनुविनश्यन्ति यथा राजकुलम्. Right? My dear Lord, Vishayatruša Narapashavaha. Those who are desiring material sense enjoyment, they are like Narapashavaha, even animals in the form of human beings. Right? So when they worship demigods, their opulences, they will be finished. They will be finished. They will be finished. Yatha anuvinishyanti yatha rajakulam. When the just like the kingdoms are finished, when the opulence of kings are finished, like that. But in the next verse, Maharaj Chitraketu is praying that Kamadiyastat rachita na param rohanti yatha karambu bijana jnanatmane agunamayi. My dear Lord, but those who worship you, even with material desires, it is like karambu bijaha, burnt out seeds. Burnt out seeds. So even if you worship, somebody worships Krishna with material desires, Krishna fulfills your material desires in such a way that you will never ask again. You will never ask again. So very beautiful Maharaj Chitraketu is. So anyway, the Lord told him that don't worry, I made some arrangement. Dadichi Muni is a very great sage. Okay? Dadichi Muni is a very great sage. Go and ask him, because his bones and his body is spiritualized because of chanting Narayan Kavacham. Narayan Kavacham. So you go and ask him for his body and take his bones and make Vajrayuda. Right? Vajrayuda. And he will, with that, using that Vajrayuda, you can kill him. You can kill him. Like that. Yeah? Yeah? Then they offered obeisance to the Lord. The Lord disappeared. And they went to Dadichi Muni. Where? The Dadichi Muni ashram is there? Huh? Huh? Where is Dadichi Muni's ashram? We all went. हाँ बोलो ददीची मुनि आश्रम इतना टाइम इतना पैसा खर्च करते हैं आप क्या कितने नहीं शरण्य I narrated this story also. Naimisharanya. So they all went to Dadichi Muni's ashram. There, just imagine, how do you feel? हमको थोड़ा तकलीफ है, हमको दवा बनाना है, आपको थोड़ा 10 लीटर ब्लड दे दो. आप कैसा फील करेंगे? हाँ? हाँ? थोड़ा ब्लड दिया तो ठीक है. 10-15 लीटर ब्लड मांगा, कैसा फील करेगा? हाउ यू फील?
Not possible.
हाँ?
Not possible.
Go off hemoglobin.
हाँ?
Go off hemoglobin. No iron.
What is that? हाँ?
No iron. IV लगाएंगे.
How do you feel?
Anemic.
उसका ही निकल रहा है.
Siddhi Baba. So they went. They are very shameless, you know. Demigods are very shameless. So they went to Dadichi Muni. Then they said, "My dear sage, we are having this problem. Please give me your body. Right? Please give me your body." Then the Dadichi Muni told, "My dear demigods, everybody in this material world is attached to the body, bodily concept of life. And then, under all circumstances, they want to protect their bodies. Right? If you go, इतना बीमार है लोग मरना नहीं चाहते. Huh? Go to the hospitals. They are very afraid. One very old person, he asked me, what some service you can suggest. I said, whatever you are doing, you do now, you know. Why you want to start a new service? Your one leg is in the grave already. And then he became so upset. They become very. You go and tell this old people bedridden, मर क्यों नहीं जाते हो? They become very. Should never. Say around 2-3 years back when I went home, I just said. My father, you know, he was very sick and all, not very old, not sick, he was that okay. And I said, you know, your age is getting over, your death is very near, at least now you chant Hare Krishna. My Babi, she cautioned me, never use that word death. For death, शब्द नहीं आना चाहिए हमारे घर में. My father was so upset. ऐसा बोलता है? Yeah, so happy, you know. So the Dadichi Muni was saying, everybody is attached to one's body, and then they do anything to protect one's body. How you are asking, I am very healthy and all. How you are asking to give the body to me? My body to you, all of you. Then Indra said, in general, people are attached to the body, but the great sages who desire welfare of other living entities. Right? The first verse of 4th canto, 20th chapter, the first verse of Lord Vishnu's instructions to Lord Prithu Maharaj, you know, 4th canto, 20th chapter. He says, Sudhiyaha sadavaloke, Naradeva Narottama, Nabi Druhyanti Bhutebhyo, Jarihi Atma Kalevara. Prabhupada wrote a very beautiful person. Says, Sudhiyaha sadavaloke, most intelligent people, and sadavaloke, those who desire welfare of all living entities. You know, and they have no malice. They have no malice towards any living entity, bhutebhyo. And then, because Jarihi Atma Kalevaram, because they are not attached to their body. So bodily concept of life. You know, people they keep saying, "Arey Prabhupada, there is so much repetition. You know, only basic philosophy." Prabhupada said, unless you are free from bodily concept of life, you cannot understand higher things. As long as I am thinking, I am this body, I am man, I am Hindu, I am Maharashtrian, I am this, I am that. So then you are not a Sudiya Sadhavaloki. Sudiya Sadhavaloki, Naradeva Narottama. Naradeva Narottama. Nabi Duhyanti. So those who are free from bodily concept of life, they don't have envy towards other living entities. So in this regard, Srila Prabhupada writes, Lord Chaitanya, nobody can have a better material life than him. Very beautiful wife, obedient, beautiful mother, loving mother, cooking very nicely, and beautiful associates, all dressed us. But for the sake of all of us, Prabhupada said, he gave up his family life and took sannyas. Yeah? In the same way, Goswamis. When Rupa Goswami retired from his job, he got a boat full of gold coins. So rich, he was so rich. But for our sake, he was staying under a tree and writing books. So that's why Prabhupada said, give one life to Lord Chaitanya. What? Give
one
life to
Lord Chaitanya.
Become perfect and practice very nicely. Become perfect and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. If you want such dedication, Lord Chaitanya will arrange for you in the next life. No? But one life,
Lord Chaitanya.
Give it to
Lord Chaitanya.
Right? So, all of you should dedicate your life like that. So, Dadichumani said, I want to hear Dharma Shastra from you. That's why I told, I don't mind giving my body up. Right? I don't mind. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's grandfather, he was such a great devotee of the Lord. He used to practice yoga also. Then he predicted that so and so day, so and so time, I will give up my body. I will give up my body. Then he sat in Padmasana and he chanted some mantra, and then with Kambaramura, he came out and went back to body. They are so capable. So, हमको कोई पूछेगा बॉडी दो हमको जहर पीना पड़ेगा. Right? So Kundalini chakra is there. Kundalini. Right? So by practicing yoga, your yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samana. These are the 8 processes. So by practicing, especially this pranayama very perfectly, you have to bring pranavayu into your heart. Right? To your heart. Then merge all the pranavayus and then push the pranavayu. Then all these chakras also are there. Anahata chakra, this chakra, that chakra. By yoga practice, they raise these chakras. 8 or 6? Huh? How many chakras? 6? 6 na? 8? Anyway, so that Brahmarandra, then open the Brahmarandra, and then from Brahmarandra, the soul passes. Then Prabhupada says, the yogi can decide which planet he wants to go. He can go. Sejan Agarwal, you want to do that? Huh? You want to raise the Kundalini chakra? Very easy method, Prabhupada said.
7.
Huh?
7
7 chakras. Anyway, leave it. So, every day, you put tilak. Om Keshavaya Namaha. You know the mantras? Huh? Tilak mantra?
I have that.
Tilak mantra? You must say Tilak mantra. You know, Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnuvaya Namaha, Om Madhusuraya Namaha, Om Tripramaya Namaha, Om Vamanaya Namaha, Om Sridharaya Namaha, Om Rishikeshaya Namaha, Om Padmanabhaya Namaha, Om Damodaraya Namaha, Om Rishi Vasudevaya Namaha. Right? Every day, and then very carefully you must put tilak. While putting tilak, you should not touch nails. The water should be very pure. Then you should sit on a kushagrass mat and sitting in front of towards east. Then you put tilak. Then devotees, automatically all the chakras they raise. So far, you don't have to go to forest and do all that. Anyway, he kept his mind, intelligence, and ego at the lotus feet of Krishna. Then he gave up the body. Then demigods, they took his bones and prepared Vajrayuda. Because of the blessings of the Lord, the demigods became very, very powerful. And then they started fighting with the demons. Then there is a Daivasura Sangrama again. Daivasura Sangrama. And then there is a huge battle took place. And what happened? The demigods, they were so ferociously fighting the war. So they were releasing so many arrows. The demons, they became very afraid and they started showing their back and fleeing the battlefield. Okay? So what is the Saurya Teja Dhritin Daksham Yuddhecha Palayana Dhanam Ishwar Bhavascha Kshatriya Karma Swabhava. Kshatriya means he doesn't show his back in the battlefield. Prabhupada told the story. Na? One king went to fight. When he came back because afraid, the queen did not open the doors. You notice? Then he said, my husband came back from the war. I don't think my husband comes back. He's you must be imposter. He was begging, no, I am, I only, your husband only. I'm not imposter. No, my husband cannot come back. Then she understood, then he went back, and then he fought, and then he got died. And she was very happy. कायर आदमी के साथ रहना नहीं चाहती, राइट? वो एक आदमी को कायर बोलेगा, नपुंसक बोलेगा, बहुत ही गुस्सा आएगा, राइट? द्रौपदी बोलती थी युधिष्ठिर महाराज कायर, युधिष्ठिर महाराज क्या पत्नी का डांट हर हस्बैंड को सुनना ही पड़ता है, राइट? कुछ ना कुछ बोलेगी, सहन करना पड़ता है, राइट? नहीं तो वो जवाब देगा, फैमिली लाइफ विल बी फिनिश्ड. So he died. Like that, this Dhritarashtra was chastising. क्या हुआ?
फैंस को स्लो कर दो. स्लो कर दो.
क्या हुआ?
चार्जिंग नहीं हो रहा है. 4 को 7 पे चार्ज करना पड़ रहा है.
वो नया बैटरी डालो ना. So then Dhritarashtra was chastising. You are a useless son of your mothers. Why are you showing your? Then he was. Then demigods also are releasing arrows. Those who are fleeing. And he said, why you are also useless guys. You are killing somebody who is fleeing from the battlefield. If you have any guts, fight with me. Then the battle between Indra and Vritrasura has started. Right? Has started. Then Indra came. Then he released his arrows. He released his arrows. And this Vritrasura was so ferocious. He was so ferocious. He hit him so hard. Airavata went back, 14 yards behind, went back. Then he started oozing blood. He started oozing blood, Airavata. And then Indra fell down. And Indra got up, and then with his Amritmaya hasta, hands, he rubbed the head of Airavata. Then he became. Then Indra became very frightened to fight with Vritrasura. Vritrasura. But Vritrasura, he was actually encouraging Indra that get up and fight. You have Vajrayudha. Vajrayudha. And here, how important it is to have faith in the words of Krishna. That is, if you read Bhagavad Gita, real Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita means you should have 100% faith in the words of Krishna. Then you have understood Bhagavad Gita. And then that is why he was, Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita. Right? The one verse spoken by Arjuna without asking questions is in Bhagavad Gita. Without asking question, Arjuna made a statement. क्या बात है?
Arjuna vacha brahma paramdham pavitram paramam visham shashtam divyam aram divam achum divam
Ahusta Rishya Sarve
Devarshi
Devarshi Naradastata Asito Devala Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Ravishni. He said, Sarvameta Dhritam Manye Yanmam Vadasi Keshava Nahite Bhagavan Vyakti Vidurdeva Na Danava. Right? He said, whatever you say, I will do it. But he did not say, my moha is gone. He is still in moha. That is why, in order to make Arjuna free from moha, again another 8 chapters Krishna had to speak. Otherwise, 10th chapter khatam ho jata. If he had told that time only, whatever you tell, I will do. Right? Then in the end, Pachitetat Shrudam Partha Vaya Ekagra Chetasa Vachitetat Ajnana Sammoha Pranashyanti Dhananjaya. He said, Arjuna, did you hear with Ekagrata whatever I spoke? Vachitetat Shrudam Partha. Now, Vachitetat Ajnana Sammoha, your moha is gone. Your moha is gone. Then Arjuna said, Nasto moha smriti labda Sat prasada Maya achyuta Stitosmi gata sandehaha Karishye Vachanam tava. Okay? My dear Lord, I gave up, my moha is gone. Nasto moha smriti labda. Smriti has come back. My remembrance has come back. Smriti labda. How? Vat prasada. By your mercy. By your mercy, not that it is my credit. No, by your mercy. Then what happened? Stitosmi gata sandeha. All my sandeha is gone. Now, Karishye Vachanam tava. Bolo Rajesh. Karishye Vachanam tava. Whatever you tell, I will do. Then Krishna said, I will. understood for them. Right? So here, Indra did not have enough faith in the words of Lord Vishnu. And then Vritrasura, even though he was a demon, he had faith in the words of Lord Vishnu. That's why Prabhupada said, here, devotee is Vritrasura and Indra is a demon. Indra is a match fixing, you know. Siddhartha match fixing. He said, very beautiful verses, I will quote. Nanuyesha Vajra Tavashakra Tejaha Haris Dadichil Tapaseritam Tejitaha Teneva Shatru Jahi Vishnu Yantritam Yata Harir Vijaya Shri Gunascha. Dhritarashtra jumps. Radhagovind Maharaj says, if you, he asked one Benares, one very great scholar and devotee, if you have to choose one topic of all topics, which topic you will choose? Then he told it seems Dhritarashtra topic. That is why in Bhagavatam, what is Bhagavatam? All the Puranas, like Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, all the stories are there. Bhagavatam means which contain Dhritarashtra Charitra, Ambarish Charitra. Ambarish. So Dhritarashtra's gems, yeah, we can hear carefully. That's why I have taken this topic. You hear this. Nanuyesha Vajra, Tava Shakra Tejaha. Hey, Shakra means Indra. Oh Indra, take this Vajra. You know, which is very, very powerful. Tejaha. How it became powerful? Because of the empowerment of Lord Vishnu's words. Vishnu, Hare, Dadichir Tapaseritam. Because of the austerities and penance of Dadichi Muni, this Vajra became very powerful. Take up this Vajra, Tenaiva Shatru Jahi Vishnu Yantritam. Because this mantra, tantra and yantra, you know, these three things. I want some other time I will tell you. What is mantra, what is tantra, and what is yantra. You know, these are very powerful, you know, Shri yantras and all that. So Jahi Vishnu yantra. So use this because victory is assured. You know, because Hari is there. Victory, Vijaya, Shri, right? Beauty and opulence and gunaha, good qualities are assured. Somebody who is worshipping Hari, for him, what are Vijaya? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho, Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruvanite, Matir Mama. No? Sanjay also concluded, wherever Krishna is there, wherever Arjuna is there, victory is assured. Dhruvaniti Matimama. Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti. He also used Shri. Shri means opulence or beauty and beauty. Like that. So, Prabhupada said, Vritrasura had so much faith in the words of Krishna. That is why even though Vritrasura is very, very, very powerful, you know, but he knows that he will be killed by Vajrayudham because it is empowered by Krishna. I have no chance. I have no chance. That's why he is encouraging. Use. Then he is saying, Aham samadaya manaha yatanaha shankarshanascha padara vindam tat vajra brahmaso lulito grama pashaha munir gato yami apatvasta loka. He's saying, I will aham samadhaya, I will concentrate on my mind on the lotus feet of Lord Shankarshana, my Istadeva. Aham samadhaya mana yatanaha shankarshanascha padaravindam. When you use Vajrayudham, you will destroy Grama Pasha. Grama Pasha means, attachment to the, there is a Pasha, there is a rope which binds the body with the soul. The body and the soul are tied by
Pasha.
one
Pasha.
Rama Pasha. That is the attachment. That is why Kumaras they say Yatharatir Brahmani Naistiki Kuman Acharyavan Jnana Vairagya Ramdasa. Jnana Vairagya Ramdasa. Dahati Aviryam Hridayam Jivakosham Panchatmakam Ivagni Yoniryatta. He says, the Kumaras are saying Panchatmakam, this body is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And also there are 5 levels of ignorance, Panchatmakam. Anybody remembers? Prabhupada writes 5 kinds of material attachments. Right? आप लोग लिख सकते हैं. Namely, ignorance, अज्ञान, and then false egoism, अहंकार, and attachment to the material world, asakti, and dvesha, envy, and attachment to the material world, absorption in material consciousness, abnidesha. These are called pancha. Better change कर दो. These are called panchatmakam. How to get rid of this panchatmakam? Also Prabhupada said 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and sky. So this body is called panchatmakam because of this 5 material attachments. What are they? Ignorance, ahankar, attachment to the material world, envy, and abnivesha. Right? Abnivesha. Absorption in material consciousness.
You can give direct connection. It's direct only. It's direct.
Hare Krishna. Better. So, Yatharatir Brahmani Naistiki Kumar. Anyway, there are so many other verses. So, Kumaras are saying, if you simply hear Krishna Katha on a regular basis, then Acharyavan, by the mercy of the spiritual master, you develop Jnana and Vairagya. Dahati Aviryam Hridayam Jivakosham. Again, Grama Pasha and Jivakosham, both are same. Jivakosham, and that rope that is ties the soul to the body. That rope. So, Amara Rudrasura was saying, I will simply sit and meditate on the lotus feet of Lord Shankarshana. Then you use your Vajrayudha, that will cut Ram Pasha. So I will also go Yato Munir Yami Apadvasta Lokaha. Right? Apadvasta Lokaha. I will go where my spiritual master Narad Muni resides. Spiritual planet. Okay? The next verse. Pumsam Hila Ekanta Dhyam Swakama. Yes, Sampado Bhugadi Vicharasayam. Narati Bhaya Narati Dresha Udvigna Adir Madah Kalir Vyasanam Samprayasha. He says, those who are practicing devotional service, which is Ekantika Bhakti, Ekanta Dhyam, single-minded devotion. Single-minded devotion. Such people, Krishna thinks, ये मेरा आदमी है, स्वकामा. ये मेरा आदमी. If you worship Krishna with material desires, Krishna will fulfill your desires, but Krishna will not think कि मेरा आदमी है, मेरा है ना, मेरापन. If Krishna, if you want that Krishna should think कि मेरा आदमी है, you know, that's why. What is the third verse of fourth chapter? Savaya maya tedya yogam prokta puratana bhaktosime sakhaseti rahasyamni etaduttamam. Bhaktosime, because you are my devotee, sakha, priya. That's why I am giving you this knowledge. Right? So, Vitrasana was saying that to such devotees, ya sampado bhumiti vicharasayam, he will not give all the opulence that is available in all the three worlds. Borloka, and all that. Because if you have opulence, what happens? People become envious. You are always in anxiety. Rati, Dvesha, Udvigna, Adir, always mentally disturbed. Tax people आ जाएगा, ये आ जाएगा, हो जाएगा. रात को नींद नहीं आता है. Right? आप बहुत ज़्यादा कैश छुपाएंगे, नींद नहीं आता है. Right? आपको मालूम है? When I first joined, they were not giving us any money for traveling. So Mukul Malur was somebody, the leader of the group. And then we were just accompanying, and then all the kacha they were only doing it like that. So we are sometimes we used to go to Gitanjali Express, sleep on, put the newspaper and sleep on the floor. Very nicely we used to sleep, right? So later on, became head pujari, and then I got one person gave a video camera. Then we got a mobile phone. Then our hero is there. Once we went to South India Yatra, all the cash I was carrying, and then our hero left the suitcase. I just got down, and then he forgot. Then luckily, all the cash was there. I was managing the tour that time. All some Malay or whatever. And luckily, we went and complained to the station master. He was very honest. He kept that suitcase and then he gave it to us. When we wanted to give something, he said, "No, it is our duty." Like that. Tension रहता था, इसलिए after the mobile phone, camera and all that, I wouldn't get sleep properly, Then lock the suitcase with bag, chain, and then in the middle of the night, checking the suitcase. Wait, chori kar liya kya? Right? If you have money, opulence, you don't get sleep properly. If you have nothing, like that. Narati, Vesha, Udvigna, Adir, mental disturbance. Matha, Kalir, you become proud. Then you fight with your relatives and friends and all that. Matha, Kalir. Right? Then, Vyasanam Samprayasha, you have anxiety to protect your health. That is where our Vritrasura was telling, if you do Ekanta Bhakti to Krishna, Krishna thinks
He is mine.
He
is mine.
Swakama, he is mera aadmi. To such people, he won't give
Material desire.
ये संपदा दिव्य भुविचर रसायन, तीनों लोकों में opulence नहीं देगा. Rather, whatever opulence you have,
He will take it.
he will take it. Yasyaham anumrinadi, arishyeta dhanam salim. Then Vritrasura says one more jewel-like verse. Then he says, Traivargika prayasa vidasta asmat prabhur vidatte purushasya sakraha yad anumano bhagavat prasado. Bhagavat prasado. Ye durlava nishkinchana gocharam anyahi. Our Lord, my Lord, he's saying, my Lord, he won't allow his devotees unnecessarily struggle Traivargika. Dharma, Artha, Kama. He won't allow us to struggle for Dharma, Artha,
Kama.
and Kama. Prabhu Vidatte, oh Indra. ये दुर्लभ ये अनुमानो भगवत प्रसाद. This is the mercy of Krishna on our devotees. And then durlabho akinchana gochara, nishkinchana, very very difficult to find such a devotee. Right? Then he says, famous verse, all of you can say, aham hare tava padaikam dasanudasa bhavitashmi bhuyah मनस्मरेताशु पतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीतवाक्कर्म करोतु कायः. बोलिए, सब आता है? बोलो वीरेश, आता है? Learn this verse. अहं हरे तव पादैकमूलम्. बोलिए.
अहं हरे तव पादैकमूलम्
दासानुदासा भविताश्मि भूयः. मनस्मरेताशु पतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीतवाक्कर्म करोतु कायः. Prabhupada writes in the purport, this is the essence of Vaishnava philosophy. What is it he is saying? When will I become a servant of your servant? Majjanma phalamidam madhukaitavari Vatprataniya madhugraheshayeva Vatbrutya brutya brutya paricharika brutya brutyasya itimam smaralokanatha. You say, you want to say? Very difficult. Majjanma phalamidam madhukaitavari madanugrahesha
मत प्रार्थनीय
मदानुग्रहेश त्वद्भृत्य भृत्यस्य इति मां स्मरलोकनाथ. Right, my dear, Majjanma phalam idam madhukaitavare. Oh madhukaitavare, oh killer of madhu and kaitava demons. Mat prarthaniya esha. My only prarthana to you. Anugraha, please show me your mercy. Esha eva. Kya? Vat brutya paricharika brutyasya itimam. 7 times separated. Servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Prabhupada said, you should never claim I am servant of Radharasya. You should always claim I am servant of Srila Prabhupada. Right? So, when you remember your pure devotees, you sing Swarlokanatha. When you remember somebody, Namalvara, Periyalvara, somebody. I want to be servant of that servant. You remember me also. You remember me also. So, Prabhupada explained why we sing Samsara Davalana in Mangalarti. Bolo Rajesh, you stopped coming for Mangalarti. Why do you sing Mangalarti? Because we are glorifying Srila Prabhupada. Then Krishna Radhaswari is saying, who is glorifying my pure devotee? That time he will look at us also. We should glorify Radhaswari directly, but in the beginning we glorify Srila Prabhupada and other spiritual masters, Acharyas, like that. There is one devotee, Jatikeshwar. So, Jati Shekhar. His brother used to come and stay in Gaudimat in Kolkata, and then go for Mangalarti, attend Mangalarti and go to the school. He was studying in some 9th standard or 10th standard. And some envious devotees, they went and complained to Sri Bhaktisiddhanta. But this boy, he comes and stays, takes prasad, and then he doesn't do any service. What we do? What should we do with him? Then Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati asked him, he called him and asked him, what is what is your thing? Then he said, uh, anyway, difficult to find. He said, I like to attend Mangalarti, he said. I like to attend Mangalarti. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati quoted one verse composed by Vishwanath Thakur. Whoever attends Mangalarti and sings this Samsara Damananda prayers composed by Vishwanath Thakur, to such a person, Radha Krishna personally take him and engage that person in his service, in their service. So attending Mangalarti is so powerful. Both of them they attend nowadays. Whenever they are in Mumbai. Right? Like that. So Aham Hari Tava Padaika Moolam. Tava Padai Aham Hari Tava Padaika Moolam. Dasanudasa Pavitashmi Bhuyala. Manas Maretash Pate Gunamsi. Grinita Vakarma Karotkaya. And let me become your servant of your servant. And then let me use my words, my mind, and my body in the service of pure devotees and Krishna. When Aham Hari Tava Padaika Moolam. When will I become your devotee again? Aham Hari Tava Padaika Moolam. Then all of you say, Nanaka Prishtam Nachaparameshtam Nasarvabhaumam Narasadhipatyam
Sarvabhaumam Narasadhipatyam
Na yoga siddhi apunarbhavam va
Na yoga siddhira punarbhavam
Samanjasayatma virahaya kankshare
Samanjasatva virahaya kankshare
Nanaka prishtam nachaparameshtam. I don't want Swargaloka or Dhruvaloka. Nanaka prishtam nachaparameshtam. I don't want to go to Brahmaloka. Nasarvabhaumam. I don't want to the king of unrivaled kingdom. I don't want. Sarvabhauma means unrivaled kingdom. No enemies. Vishma. Then Rasadhipatyam. I don't want to be like Bali Maharaj, Rasatala, all this Sutala planet. Then Yoga Siddhi. I don't want 8 kinds of perfections of yoga. Anima, Lagima, Ishta, Prapti and all that. Then I don't want liberation also. Now Yoga Siddhi, Apunar Bhavamba, Samanjasa, O source of all benedictions, Samanjasa Yatma, Viraya Kanksha, if I have to become separated from you. Right? So this prayer comes in Bhagavatam 3 times with little difference. Nanaka Prishtam Na Sarvabhaumam Na Parameshtam Narasadhipatyam Na Yoga Siddhir Apunarbhavam Va Vanchanti Yat Pada Raja Prapanna. This is a verse by Nagapatnis. Nagapatnis, 10th canto, 7th chapter. They are praying, my dear Lord, those who receive dust of your lotus feet, they will not desire to go to Swargaloka, they will not go to Brahmaloka, they don't like perfection in Yoga Siddhi, they don't like Mukti. They simply are satisfied to take the dust of your dust of your lotus feet is so powerful. They don't want any of these things. Right? So in this regard, This is hierarchy, no? Hierarchy. Highest is Nakaloka. Next is Parameshwar, Brahmaloka. Next is Sarvabhauma. Next is Rasadipatya. Next is Yoga Siddhi. The least desired thing is Mukti. These Mayavadis, they always desire Mukti, Mukti, Mukti. But for devotees, least desired thing is
Mukti.
Mukti. They don't want, it's a spiritual society. Ajata Paksha, Ivamataram Kaga, Stanyam Yatavasataram Shudartha, Priyam Priyaiva Visitam Vishanna, Mano Aridaksha Vidrikshadapam. Just like a baby bird is always crying for her mother bird to come and feed that bird. Just like a calf is always crying and always looking that the cow comes and gives her milk. Just like when a wife, she doesn't decorate herself when the husband is away, and then she's always waiting for the husband to come back and put the tilak or whatever. In the same way, my dear Lord, I'm eager to see you. This is a epitome, highest kind of shloka they say, acharyas they say. This is so all this, the selfishness is reducing. Ajata Paksha, Yomatram Kaga. Stanyamyata, Asatanyata. Priyam Priyega, Vistamishya. So, because Vishnacharya says, first he said, bird, he is not satisfied. Then he said, Vatsa, he is not satisfied. Then he said, wife, feeling separation from her husband. So, this is the highest level. Then, Mamuttama Shloka, Janeshu Shakya, Samsara Chakra, Brahmata Swakarma Vihi. Mama Mayatmaja, Grahavittadara, Asakta Chittasya, Nanata Bhuya. So, these are the gems of Vritrasura's prayers. You can learn these prayers and say in front of the Lord. Prabhupada said, this is the essence of Krishna conscious philosophy. Vritrasura, Prabhupada is saying, the battlefield of, in the middle of the battlefield, he is expressing such devotion. Right? Sanjay was asking question, how he got it. So, same doubt Indra also got it. कौन है तुम? इतना devotion? Huh? The same doubt even our Parikshit Maharaj also asked, Muktanam Siddhanam. What is it? Muktanam Siddhanam? Vasudev Parayana. Vasudev Parayana. Prashanta, Durlama Prashantama. First verse. Muktanam Abhisiddhanam Narayana Parayana Sudurlabha Prashantatma Kotisve Abhi Mahamne. Oh great sage, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. Brahmananam Sahasrebhyo. You know this verse? Brahmananam Sahasrebhyo. Satrayaji Vishishyate. Satrayaji Sarva Vedanga Paraga. Sarva Vedanga Paraga. Sarva Vedanga the Koti Api Vishnu Bhakta Vishishyate. Vaishnavanam Sahasrebhyo Eki Ekanta Vishishyate. He will not find this verse. I will not tell you. Brahmananam Sahasrebhyo. Out of thousands and thousands of Brahmanas, Satrayaga, Shaunakanda Rishis, they are doing Satrayaga. They are superiors. Satrayaga Vishishta. Out of thousands of Satrayajis, Sarva Vedanga Paraga, one who understood Vedas, is very special. Then out of such crores of Vedanga Paragas, Vishnu Bhakta is very rare. Then out of Vishnu Bhaktas, Ekanta Bhakta, Krishna Bhakta is very
Rare.
That is what Prabhupada came to teach us, Krishna Bhakti. We don't want to, we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Gaudiyas we are, devotees of Radharani. We are not devotees of Vishnu. Shiva Vaishnavas, they are devotees of Vishnu. Okay? We are devotees of Srimad Radharani. If there is a transcendental fight between Radha and Krishna, we will support Srimad Radharani. Right? With Bhaktivinoda Thakur said like that. So Sanjay asked this question. So then, of course, later on it will come that very beautiful prayers by Maharaj Chitraketu. So Narad Muni and Angiras Muni, they come and teach Chitraketu Maharaj. This teachings. Then because he was so intensely attached to having a son and all that, then Chitraketu Maharaj, he became a pure devotee. Then he got darshan of Lord Shankarshana within a very few days. Then he became Vidyadharpati. Then Vidyadharpati, when he was flying, one day he saw Lord Shiva, Parvati Devi sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva. And then so many sages are surrounding and he was teaching Bhagavatam. Then he laughed. Chitraketu Maharaj laughed. क्या देखो क्या चल रहा है nonsense. Lord Shiva, the name only is Shiva. How he can ऐसा कोई just imagine one of you devotee keeping your wife on the lap and giving Bhagavatam class. कोई बैठने को तैयार नहीं होगा. So that's why he laughed. Then Parvati Devi thirsted. Then immediately Chitraketu Maharaj, he said, Pati Pragrhitam Shapam Atmanam Anjali Ambika Yat Devaya Martyayo Tat Prokam Purvadishtam Tasya Chita. Said, I will accept your curse, my dear mother, Ambika. Everybody's happiness and distress is predestined. Then the very beautiful verses he spoke. And then later on Lord Shiva says, Drishyasi Ashi Shushroni Harer Adbhuta Karmana. You want to sit? You can sit in the chair. You okay?
He wants to come here.
I said if I can sit up, my legs.
Yeah, please go.
My legs
Go,
will.
sit.
You want to sit?
Yeah, legs are pretty.
Drishyasi Ashi Shushroni. Just look away, my dear beautiful lady. Drishyasi Ashi Shushroni. Harer Adbhuta Karmana. He said, Krishna's devotees power you see. Mahatmyam Vrutyanam. Even the devotees of the devotees are so great. Nishpuranaham Mahatmanam. They are completely free from all material desires. Narayana Parasarve, Nakudaschana Navidyate, Swarga Apavarga Narakeshu, Apitulyar. This is a very famous verse. Many times he quoted. Narayana Parasarve, those who are Narayana Para, for him Swarga, Naraka, Sab, Apitulyar, Tatarshana, Sab, everything is same. Then the Parvati Devi asked Vritrasura to become a demon. That is the reason. He is a pure devotee, such a pure devotee. If if you read his prayers, there are favorite prayers. All Ajita Jita. Yesterday also I quoted, right? Ajita Jita Samamatis. Tat sadhu vid bhavan jitatmana bhavata. Vijita satyevi bhajatam akama atmadaha ati karunaha. He is like that. Very good. Very wonderful prayers, and Prabhupada wrote beautiful purports. One bar padna chahiye. 6th canto, 16th chapter. So anyway, Indra was looking at Vritrasura. ये किधर है आप कौन है? हाँ? इतना devotion? He said Narad Muni's Daya. Right? Narad Muni's Daya. Right? So Rudra, then Indra, then he released Vajra. He released some other weapons and all that. Right? So there was some. Indra became very disappointed. Again he got defeated. He again defeated. किधर है वो कीर्तन पार्टी आ रहे हैं क्या?
नहीं आ रहा।
नहीं आ रहे हैं?
शंकर प्रभु ने मैसेज किया कि फास्टिंग कर रहे हैं तो नहीं आएगा।
So then again Vritrasura, he became defeated. Indra became defeated. He was hesitating to use Vajrayudam. He Vajrayudam use karo, but then he said, Yuyutsutam kutrachit atatainaha. Okay. Jaya sada ekatracha na parampa. Vinayakam utpatti laya sthita ishwaryam. Sarvajnam adhyam purusham sanatana. All of you grastas, there is a teaching of Vritrasura on the battlefield. In the next chapter, glorious death of, this is first earlier chapter, I finished. This is another chapter, glorious death of Vritrasura. In that, around 6 or 7 verses are there. All of you remember these verses, or at least prose, and try to implement in your life. So the first verse it says, Yuyutsutam kutrachit atatainama. In this world, only Lord Krishna can be successful all the time. All the time. All of us, sometimes successful, sometimes failure. Because it is not in your hand. It is success and failure is not in your hand. Krishna will decide whether you have to be successful or you have to be a failure. That's why Prabhupada said, when there is a success, then you should not jump up and down. When there is a failure, you should not go into depression. Please note it down, because every time in your business deal you cannot be successful. Every time in your arguments to somebody you cannot be successful. Sometimes you are successful, sometimes you are defeated. Right? Prabhupada writes, you are reading, huh? You are reading or Hindi? Very good. The living entities are not independent, although they foolishly think themselves the doers. Victory is always with the Supreme Personal Godhead. As for the subordinate living entities, they fight under the arrangement of the Supreme Personal Godhead. Victory or defeat is not actually theirs. It is an arrangement by the Lord to the agency of material nature. Pride in victory or moroseness in defeat is useless. One should fully depend on the Supreme Personal Godhead, who is responsible for the victory and defeat of all the living entities. So, this is the, don't be morose because of my victory. There is no need to stop fighting. Instead, you should go on with your duty. When Krishna desires, you will certainly be victorious. Very good for all of us. Remember, sometimes we go for book distribution. Some books go, Sometimes we go to collect some money from donors. They give. Sometimes they don't give. Right? Loka sapala yasyeme swasanti vasati vivashaha dvija eva shichabadda sakala ihakaranam. He says, all this, including demigods, lokapalas, all these rulers of the planetary systems, everybody, vasati vivashaha, they are under control. Just like a bird caught in the net. How independence one has, Virish? A bird caught in the net. That much independence only we all have. We are not at all independent. Sakada ihakaranam. Ojah saha balam pranam. Amrutam mrityumevacha. Yat ajnano jano hetu atmanam manyate jana. It says, Oja, the strength of the mind, strength of the senses, Oja, saha, balam, pranam, prana shakti, then deathlessness and death, everything is, Krishna is the only source. But Atmanam manyate jana. Everybody is thinking, I am the cause, I am the cause. Right? Then the very beautiful verse, Yata darumayi nari, Yata patramaya mrugam, evam bhutani magavan, ishatantrani viddhibho. It says, just like Yata patramaya mrugam, with leaves, you make some model of an animal. Yata patramaya, darumayi nari. Just like a wooden doll is there of a woman. They are completely controlled by the person, puppeteer. You make puppets with all these things, and then puppeteer controls. Like that, Isha Tantrani Viddhibho. Krishna is controlling all of us through material nature. Yeah? Material nature. Then he says, Purusham Prakritim Vyaktam Atma Bhutendriya Asavaha Shaknuvanti Tat Sargado Yad Vina Yad Anugraha. Three Purushas, Mahavishnu, Garbudaksai Vishnu, and Shirodaksai Vishnu, and then this Prakriti, the Jiva, our senses, our mind, everything is becomes active. They cannot become active without the mercy of Krishna. Even the three Purushas. Anyway, this is Ayushri Kirtir Aishwaryam. He says, Ayushri Kirtir Aishwaryam, Ashisha Tat Purushasya, Bhavati Atra Kalepi, Anichur. He says, just like all this long lifespan, wealth, Ayushri, Kirti, fame, Aishwaryam, opulence, beauty, all these, they go away when our time is bad. In the same way, when our time is good, they will come. Then, this is a very important verse. Sattvam rajas tama iti prakrite natmano gunaha tatra sakshinam atmanam yo veda sanavadyate. One who knows that the three qualities, goodness, passion and ignorance, are not qualities of the soul, but qualities of the material nature, and who knows that the pure soul is simply an observer of the actions and reactions of this quality, should understood to be a liberated person. Right? All these qualities are belonging to the material nature, material body. These three gunas, sattva, rajas, tama, they are not the qualities of the soul. And the soul is simply a observer. then you will be considered a liberated soul. One who is when one attains self-realization, one knows that whatever happens during his life is due to the contamination of the modes of creation. The living being, the pure soul, has nothing to do with these modes. In the midst of the hurricane, the material world, everything changes very quickly. But if one remains silent and simply observes the actions and reactions of the hurricane, he is understood to be a liberated. Be an observer. Same thing Lord Vishnu says to Prithu Maharaj. You know, Udasino Ivadyaksha. Udasino Ivadyaksha. Dravyajnana Kriyatmanaha. Kutastam Imam Atmanam. Vedapnoti Shovanam. He says, if the soul remains neutral, then he understands that everything that is happening is happening by the arrangement of the material nature. Dravyajnana Kriyatmana means our body consisting of all the subtle elements, grass elements, then all this knowledge, Dravyajnana, all this, everything is being controlled by Prakriti. I am only a observer, Kutastam. Simply remain inactive. Atma is simply inactive. Somebody who thinks, who knows this, he is achieving real knowledge. Anyway, then Indra said, कौन है तुम इतना भक्ति मैं कभी demon होके तुम इतना devotion you are showing. He says, Indra is saying, hearing the straightforward, oh great demon, I see by your discrimination and endurance in devotional service, despite your dangerous position, that you are a perfect devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul and friend of everyone. Then he says, you have surmounted the illusory energy of Lord Vishnu, and because of this liberation, you have given up the demonic mentality and have attained the position of exalted devotee. O Vritrasura, demons are generally conducted by the modes of passion. Therefore, what a great wonder is that although you are a demon, you have adopted the mentality of a devotee and have fixed your mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who is always situated in pure goodness. A person fixed in devotional service of Supreme Lord Hari, the Lord of the highest auspiciousness, swims in the ocean of nectar. Hari, what is the use of water with small ditches? Then the Indra becomes inspired. Then he cuts his hand. He cuts his hand. Then Vritrasura swallowed Indra. Right? Then, so Vishnacharya Thakur comments that once Vritrasura swallowed Indra, he thought that I became victorious. I defeated Indra, and Indra is dead. That's why he went into Samadhi. Vritrasura. So it took 1 year to cut the head of Vritrasura. With Vajrayudham. 1 year, somehow he pierced the stomach of Vritrasura and came out. Then he used Vajrayudham to cut the head of Vritrasura, and it took him 1 year. Then Vishnacharya says, when he swallowed, by that time only Vritrasura went into Samadhi and gave up his body. He went back to Godhead. Then of course Vritrasura is such a pure devotee, Vaishnava अपराध हो गया उसको. इसलिए for 100 years he had to leave Swargaloka and hide himself in Manas Sarovar, in the stem of a lotus flower. That time only our Nahusha became Indra. So one important thing in the next chapter is described. Even then, actually, Indra did not want to kill Vritrasura because he already suffered Brahmahatya Pap. Because I didn't want to kill another Brahmana and suffer. Then the sages, they said, you kill Vritrasura, we will perform Ashwamedha Yajna, then you will become free. Because purposefully committed sinful activity, even after performing Ashwamedha Yajna, Indra did not become free from sinful reactions. That is why he had to suffer lot of suffering. He had to undergo. One lady with bad smell, he was smiling, following Indra. That's why he had to hide. This is a very complicated. Material life is always complicated. That is why better to go back to Godhead. So all these relations and all very complicated. Anyway, so this is the story of Dhritarashtra. Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions,
Prabhuji, 100 years means Indra's furlough 100 years or Brahmaji's 100 years? 100 years. You said.
Devatas. Chamas lekhe.
And Mansarovar is of the Kailash Mansarovar?
Yeah. You want to hear more, na?
Yes. Sanjay,
See, everybody wants to go to bathroom. Yeah.
संजय प्रभु जी ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था संजय
I answered, na?
that वो पहले डिवोटी थे इसलिए
Yeah. You want to stretch your legs? No.
Yes.
Take, you want to go to toilet and all? आ गया चलो
You pause it for this, maybe 6.
pause it. You can change again.